Hello there, Clashers, and welcome back to Oz Alliance Clash of Clans right here on YouTube. I'm your host Rhino, and today we're going to be checking out a few huge loot raids. And all of these raids were found just before the Christmas update came out, but I can tell you from personal experience there is still plenty of loot out there right now, even with a lot of people's gold mines upgrading, and the same with elixir collectors and dark elixir drills. Alright, so let's get straight into it with the first raid here. It is our feature raid, and it is from Rum Guts of Australia Elite, of course. Now, Rummy is right up in trophies at 3,500, and he's come across this beautiful base, a completely dead base with over 1 million loot and 6.7k DE available, along with a huge 30 cup offer. So he's dropped in his 2 golems, one in each compartment, and now the third one coming in from the back has decided to go off to the right of his screen. Now the wizards are coming in behind along with more wall breakers, and now the witches and the clan castle dragon are going to come up from the back too. So the heroes are just about to come in here as we have a look at the huge loot taken already as the 2 rage spells come down. We have 2.4k DE, which is from 1 or 2 drills, I believe, as the king and the queen start marching in from the back towards the dead core of this base. Now you would notice that the expos and infernos are down on this base, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on as the dragon gets taken down by the air defense in the middle of the base there. But we still have plenty of troops going around and 1 lightning spell left in the tank if required. Rummy has got the first star for 55% at this point, and there are troops down on the town hall which was exposed as well. As the troops start making their way out of the center enclosure, the king was about to go down, but a perfectly timed Iron Fist is going to help him get out of the core there, and gives a path for the queen to follow too. We're on 71%, and we still have a practically full health queen up the back with her ability, and only a few defensive structures left. We have a chance to have a look at some of the big loot that Rummy has got as the last of it starts coming in now. We have a 6.7k DE, which is realistically one of the most you can get, and some of you might be thinking, like I did originally at the time, I thought a 6.6k was the maximum, but this guy did have a little bit in his clan castle which increased the maximum DE. And as we have a look at some of the elixir and gold taken now as the troops finish off the last couple of gold mines, we have 554,000 elixir and 476,000 gold as that last wizard and archers take down the lab for a huge 1 million raid with 6.7k DE and a 30 trophy reward. But just before we move on to our next raids of this episode, I would just like to make a quick point with you guys. So the guy that Rummy was attacking here, his name was Rafe, and he was probably rough, I don't know, and he was pretty much a max Town Hall 10, except for his walls, of course, like many others, but he did have max defenses and I believe max heroes as well. And Rummy is a max Town Hall 10 except for walls, like a lot of Town Hall 10s as I said, and all of his troops he used were max as well. But normally if you're a max Town Hall 10 coming in on another max Town Hall 10 with a decent army like Go Wee Wee, Go White, all of that, you would expect to get 1, maybe 2 stars depending on the base. You'd always be hoping for 2, of course, but you'd never really expect to get past the 60% range percentage wise. So it was really interesting here to see that Rummy got the 100%, and it was a really well placed raid, but it wasn't just that really made the impact in my opinion. And that was that the Infernos and the Expos were down, and it poses the question in my head, how much do Town Hall 10s rely on Expos and Infernos to do the job on defense? And there's really an experiment I would like to try and do. I would like to set up 2 identical bases and 2 identical raids to come on in. All the troops deployed from the same spot, same time, all of that, same spells, everything, abilities, and just have 1 base with the Infernos and Expos up and running and 1 without, and see how much of a difference it makes, because in my mind it is huge. So it's almost 40% extra damage done without the Infernos and Expos there to defend, in my opinion. But anyway, we'll move on to our second attack now, but a huge 1 million find with 6.7k DE and 30 trophies there for Rummy. Alright, let's keep moving on with raid number 2, and here is a raid from yours truly. I found this dead Town Hall 10 base just before the Christmas update, like all of these raids, and he had over 800,000 loot available as well as some nice DE. So I just started out there by taking care of that enemy Archer Queen as I send in my traditional Arch Army now, no wall wreckers as per usual. And I've sent in all my barbs except for a couple, and a bit of an early rage spell didn't quite cover the troops, but they have walked into that now, so they're getting sped up as all the archers start coming in from the back. That rage spell was a little bit early, but the Queen and the Clan Castle troops, which are wizards and minions, are going to use up the last of it as they start moving around. I did use a double lightning up the top there on that wizard tower and that mortar. As the rest of the troops start spreading out, we've got some going left, some going right, but that's alright. We've got a few minions being taken down from that air defense, and the Archer Queen has stopped off to take care of that town hall from long range. As we get our first glance at some of the loot already taken, we have nearly 400,000 gold as that just ticks over there now. 697 Dark Elixir, but that's about to be taken down by a few archers, and the Archer Queen there heading towards 1,000 already now, and almost 300,000 elixir left to take. This raid is going to continue on. We've got troops up the top, troops down the bottom, and the Archer Queen heading in towards the middle now, as the last few archers start to take care of all that remains of the elixir. A few head out to the outside now as the Queen makes her way into the core. She's getting targeted quick and fast, so I'm about to pop the ability just there, and it restores her to nearly full health as they take down the second to last cannon there, and all start converging on the last structure to remain, and that is the elixir storage. Oh no, it's not the last structure, sorry, there's a builder's hut out in the corner, and that gets taken care of quickly. A huge 800k find with 30 trophies and 1.4k DE. Alright guys, so here is the last raid of this episode, and here we have Danny from Australia Elite, and Danny is our loot master with the highest gold grab of the clan, 900 million, nearly at the 1 billion mark now, and a beautiful level 20 queen all farmed as well. However, that is not the highest. That honor for a farmed queen at least goes to Jib. Anyway, getting on to this raid now, Danny's just started off by taking care of a few unprotected buildings, including couple of gold mines and elixir collectors on the outside, only using a few troops, so getting plenty of profit back for that. And without dropping the giants in yet, we've already got 19% and a fair bit of loot, but obviously there's plenty left, so the giants are going to come in from the bottom of the screen in a minute and take care of some of the rest of those buildings with loot, including those elixir storages mainly in the middle, and the dark elixir storage, which has 1046 dark elixir. So in come the giants from the bottom now, and this is only going to take about a minute to finish off the rest of this raid. Almost longer spent on taking care of those outside items as the archers and barbs come in from the back now and take care of some of the last mines and pumps from the back there. We have the giants heading into the middle now, and one wall breaker helps them out through those level 4 walls as the Archer Queen comes in from the back now. The Barb King is taking care of the giants as well as some of that splash damage from the back. There's only one left now, and that's just about to be taken down as most of the barbs and archers head off to the right, and a few are being deployed from down the bottom just off the side of your screen there now, taking care of that storage in that other compartment. The Archer Queen is starting to lack protection now, and she is going to be taken down by that cannon, and that is not good news for Danny's Queen, of course, trying to save it for a future raid. But she starts heading over for the Dark Elixir now, so the ability goes, regenerating a bit of health, and she now focuses on that Dark Elixir storage as the last few troops all but take care of that gold mine. And as soon as that Dark Elixir storage goes down there, the raid is ended to protect the remaining health of the Queen. But still, a great raid from Danny, 874,000 combined loot and nearly 2,000 Dark Elixir. Thanks guys for checking out this episode, and please remember that if you would like to join the Oz Alliance in-game, please apply to Australia Elite. We're accepting players with level 100 and an upgraded Town Hall 9 or better. I am going to do a quick fix up on the previous episode comparing giants with golems, so I am going to have to take that one down, but I will put it back up as soon as possible with all the previous content and a little bit extra. But thanks again for watching, and clash on.